Good morning, warriors. As you can tell, it's pretty dark outside. I once again needed to run out. I work about 65 hours a week, so it's hard always to be at home or another location and do a video. So I want to do one. It's a little dark. I apologize for that, but I wanted to kind of get this out because I have a crazy day this morning. Good morning, everyone. It is February 1st, 2020. Welcome to Morning Talk. Hope everyone is doing well on your purpose, getting ready for a great day again today. And I want to shout out to a lot of people and Babba, Limited Vision. Thank you for your great comments, and I appreciate that. I think that, kind of having this long streak and being able to really kind of share information is my satisfaction, gratification from the whole thing. So I appreciate all the subscriptions, comments, likes, and donations. So keep doing that and keep letting me know what we can do to kind of help provide more information. I'm going to go with a comment today that I think my friend Babba was talking about and asking about. And we'll talk about long streaks a little bit here. And we know that we have, a few people in our audience doing long streaks, and that's just great. I admire that. I think that's wonderful. And, we need to continue that. Let me kind of give you my perspective on some of it. And we'll kind of talk about that as our show goes on here a little bit. So I think Babba was asking about things like flatlining and how you continue, what your experiences are in a long streak. So let me kind of talk about at least my experiences up to now, and certainly other people can kind of chime in and send their messages, and we can kind of talk more about it. I mean, I'm open to any kind of topics on these morning talks. I eventually will probably go back and do other ones besides that, but with my schedule right now, it's kind of tough. But I will try to do that at least in the morning, get something out for you guys every day. So talking about this, I'm looking at my numbers. So I'm at 603. I think it's NoFap, and I believe it's 133 with monk mode. So that's kind of where we're at with all of that. And so I like I said, I don't really keep track of it. I think my friend Babba, the key is to realize that you really have changed your life. And I think you mentioned it in one of your comments as well. Your whole life is really changed. And I guess that's the best way I can start describing this, is that it's not really, it's a flatlining, yes, in some ways. I guess you could look at it flatlining, but you have to kind of realize what flatlining is. So, let me put it this way. So we always talk about the fact that, we have light and dark, right? And right now it's kind of darker than lighter. It's getting a little lighter this morning. You have to have both dark and light to recognize the opposite. So do you kind of follow what I'm saying? Without the dark, you would not know there's light. If there's light all the time, you would know the difference. Just like if you're in a climate in like Hawaii and different places where you have the same temperature almost all year round, you don't notice a difference between it. And so sometimes living in an environment, you may never know a difference, and you may see that as always the same. So this is kind of the same thing we're talking about with flatlining and being able to kind of say, I could tell a difference between what was happening before and after. Now, when I was early on the streak, yes, of course, you could tell the tremendous differences, like more focus, healthier, more attraction, more muscle, all those type of things happen to you because you notice the difference, because you didn't have those previously. So my first, 100 days, 90 days were just unbelievable to me. But that's because I was used to the new style, the living style I had for the last 45 years, and not the lifestyle I had my first 10 to 12 years in my life when I was a kid, and not doing any of that kind of stuff and thinking about that kind of stuff. So it's a whole different lifestyle. But now, since I've gone back to this lifestyle, now it's become, over a number of period of days, it becomes a lot, it's normal to me now. It's getting to the point where it's normal. Now, there's not times I can't tell you that, a young lady, a woman comes up to me and, there's an attraction there, and they're attracted to me. Then all of a sudden I get kind of caught off guard with that, and I can't tell you there's not going to be some sort of reaction from me. Of course, I think that we're only human, right, in many regards. But obviously, it's not something that I even think about after that point. It's just something I kind of smile with, and I kind of move on, because I realize that, I could tell what the person was intending, or at least trying to do, and being that way, I can actually kind of respond to it in an appropriate way and kind of just move on. But it's a nice compliment, like as I always said, and it's nice to understand that you're changing. So I still notice a lot of those type of things. I still notice that my intense focusing is much better, and I'm getting more rewards from that in the long run, because I think I focus more on my goals, and I think those things come more true because of that. And so as you look at this, I think that there is a point where things will become normal. And I think, Babba, that's something that that I didn't experience for many, many years. I always thought that the normal was what I was doing, and never really reflecting back, because I don't reflect back on my first 12 years. That was like when I was a kid. But I was reflecting on 45 years of not really focusing on anything except maybe a little bits of pieces here of a little bit of my journey, but nothing like it is now. And I think this is why you go back to kind of say to yourself, okay, this is a whole lifestyle change. You're going back, or going back, or the way it should be. And because we've been kind of fooled and brainstormed in society to kind of believe that that other way is the way to go, then I think we get caught up by that kind of stuff, and so we don't realize the world we're in. And I think a lot of people are like that. They get so caught up in the world they're in, they don't realize there's other worlds out there and other ways to look at things and do things. So as we look at this, I think it's important to realize that, on a long street, Babba, that you're going to have, you can call it flatlining. I don't really call it flatlining, because I'm still experiencing a lot of the benefits. Have they increased? That may be what you're talking about with flatlining. It may be something that you're not really seeing huge differences, but why do you need to? I guess that's my question. As I've gone longer, the benefits are tremendous still. And so I don't need more benefits. What I need to do is just continue to enjoy the benefits that I have. So it's an interesting question, I think, that you raise. And I guess I'm experiencing this for the first time. I've never been up to 600 some days. In month mode, 130 days, 33 days, I could never believe I could do that. And so I think that this is all new to me. And so my experiences are such that I'm just kind of responding from how I react to things. And it is something that becomes normal. While everybody else is just kind of looking at things like, different kind of things, crazy and all those type of things, they think you're kind of a lunatic, and what are you doing? You mean you don't do this stuff anymore, and things like that. It is a lot of peer pressure from friends and people who do it all the time. They think it's a normal type of thing, and they don't realize a life like that. But isn't that the same with religion as well? And in my case, in Christian religion, Catholic religion, isn't that the kind of same thing that God talks about in the Bible all the time? That people don't realize the world beyond them, or the world that's not in front of them, with all the satanic and devil types of spirits and all the things trying to get you to move away from God, which a lot of people have succeeded in that, right? A lot of people that don't believe in God, and so the satanic stuff has worked, and they don't believe that, they believe more in Baal and the evil one and all these other people. And this is why you see all these crazy movies, horror movies, monster movies, all these things are out there, and science fiction. because people want to see more and more of that. They're curious about that, and that lets the door open. And this is where the temptation comes in, and a lot of people then get caught up in all this kind of addictions because they're curious about all this stuff. And this is why you see these crazy, movies that people that are out there with, spirits and all this kind of stuff, because people, they want to be able to experience it, not realizing it's all around them all the time, and they just don't understand it enough to be able to kind of perceive it past just what they see in front of them. And when you look at also the movies when people are, all kinds of violent type of things, whether it's sports or movies where you see a lot of violence and things like that, you're looking at things where people are basically kind of curious to see how people react and all those type of things. And so because of that, there's a temptation that opens, and that's something that people do because they're either bored or they're curious or they're interested in what's going on. They're not realizing that there's no need to even think about all that kind of stuff. But again, what we're talking about is a whole lifestyle type change that comes over you. And I think when you're on this journey, you tend to become a lot more spiritual because inside of you realize there's more now than all these things you were partaking in and doing that trying to get excitement. And so the adrenaline, all those type of things are not as necessary when you're at the point where you're at peace and you're enjoying every single day the way it is, no matter what's happening. I had a kind of a rough morning this morning. I was walking the dog at 5 a.m. and broke one of our glasses in the door. It slammed down for some reason and broke, and so I had to pick all that up and run around and get ready to leave the house and things like that, and walking the dog and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of a hectic morning, but I take it so much better now than I did before. And so I'm at a point where it's okay, those things happen, just keep moving forward. And I've always believed that, just keep pushing forward, taking one step at a time, moving forward. And you're going to have things that are going to happen to you that are not so pleasant. You've just got to keep moving, and eventually you'll kind of figure out the answers and solve it. But you also then get a lot more faith, in my opinion, and you have a lot more hope and realize that life is not tied into these material types of things. It's great that I have a comic book collection, or have some of my hobbies of trains and things, a little electric football man back in the old days, but it's not something that I need to have. I couldn't say that 10, 15 years ago, because I was kind of obsessed on holding on to things, and I don't have that. It's nice to have it. If I lose it, I'll lose it, and the same thing with everything else in my life, because I become a lot more spiritual on this run that I have. And so I just can't say how much this is wonderful. And it's just a great type of thing to experience. And as you go longer, some of you guys have been in longer, you realize that too. And especially if you're focusing yourself, getting other things done, you're living in a whole different type of world than a lot of people are, who want to go out and they feel like that life is about trying to get the most experiences you can and to enjoy things. And it doesn't matter if it's hurting people, not hurting people. It's basically just enjoying myself and pleasurable experiences. So they live for the pleasure, and this is why you see them involved in gambling and in drugs and in chasing women around, or chasing men around if you're a woman. They are all involved in this kind of stuff because they become addicted to that, because they have to have the adrenaline. And unfortunately what happens is that they're not really satisfied then with one of those things, and then they have to continue doing more and more types of deviant behaviors to get some excitement. It's the same thing with porn, the same thing with you look at serial killers. Case studies are the same way. And this is the thing that happens when people are not peaceful within themselves, and they're always looking for something and think they've missed something. So, but excellent question, Babba. The light's starting to get a little brighter out here, And I wanted to kind of end by saying that I appreciate the question. Babba is a great viewer, subscriber, puts a lot of questions out there and kind of talks about things. And so I would say continue working towards your goal. I can, and I can't say this now, but you never say never, but I don't see myself, in the foreseeable future thinking about a situation that I would ever go ahead and release, because I just feel so happy. Like I said, I feel like very happy. It's a whole different mentality. I don't have the anxiety. I don't have the fear I had, and I like people. I love talking to people. I love, working with people, all these type of things. But I don't have a lot of fear about things that are happening. Do I think about it every so often? Sure, you have to. You're trying to solve problems. You're trying to get to the point where you're moving on. But the thing is, you're not really looking at the world the same way. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of things going on, and a lot of it was because I was losing energy. I think about it now. I think about those experiences, and I think about how could I have done that. But it's easy to get into patterns. It's easy to get kind of brainwashed. It's easy to do those type of things. All right, so Bob, a great question. Hang in there. There's times that are good, times that are going to be bad. I had 45 years of that, so I understand exactly how people feel. But keep looking towards the goal in the long run is to become a new person. And you're a new person, in my opinion, in Christ. But a big part of that goes back into this journey of retention that we're talking about here. So, all right. So everybody have a great morning. Enjoy a great day. We're supposed to be getting a huge snowstorm tonight, I believe, in the Midwest. So hopefully that we'll be able to dig ourselves out of the snow tomorrow. But everybody have a great day and battle on and keep going, and we'll try to get that 1% up to 2% as soon as we can. All right, battle on, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.